Welcome in, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started as more and more folks start to trickle in. We know that you all were probably waiting, and we appreciate your patience. We're excited to have you all join us here. All right, everybody. Well, for the interest of time, we'll go ahead and get started. I know that you all may have a lot of questions, and we're happy to get to know you. So I know folks are going to be trickling in, and we'll be sure to go ahead and get started so we can get to all the fun and excitement. So first of all, welcome to today's webinar. First, we want to do a little bit of housekeeping. Congratulations on being here, and we look forward to getting to know you all a little bit. We'll introduce ourselves. There's a few different folks you'll be hearing from today, and we're excited to get started. Just a few things about Zoom, the webinar that we are using. You may want to play around with Zoom a little bit if you're unfamiliar. So a couple things to know. First, as attendees, your video is off and you are muted. So we won't be able to hear or see you. In order for you to ask questions, we ask that you use the Q&A feature that you'll see on the bottom part of Zoom. You should see a box that says Q&A. It's got a couple different message boxes as an icon for it. We will save quite a bit of time. About half the presentation is built in for Q&A, so you will have a lot of opportunity to ask questions at the end. Much of the content that we'll be going over today will go over probably a lot of the questions that you might have. You'll hear from representatives from both the Department of Animal Sciences and the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences Dean's Office. We will not be using the raise your hand function, and we prefer that you do not use the chat function to answer questions. Please remember just to use the Q&A. As presenters, we may use the chat function to send out helpful links or helpful information for you all to look at as we get going here. And just as a reminder, this is an introduction to our time and our college department. This may not cover each and every question, but you're going to have plenty of time throughout the summer to ask all the questions that you might have. So welcome, and we look forward to getting to know you more. So we'd like to just take a moment to introduce some of the academic advising staff here with us today. My name is Joe Lee, and I am one of the academic advisors in the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences Dean's Office. I have the pleasure of working with students across a variety of different majors all throughout our college, and particularly enjoy working with our students in animal science, ag ed, and animal science and management, which obviously you all are here for today. As a fun fact about myself, my favorite snack food is chips and salsa. Can't get enough of them. I will eat an entire bag, an entire jar of salsa if you put it in front of me. So I'm going to turn it over to Catherine, Emma, and Caitlin to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Catherine Livingston. I am a staff advisor in the Animal Science Advising Center. I'm super excited to be here and looking forward to getting to know you all. My favorite snack is also chips and salsa. It cannot be beat.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emma Martinez, and I'm another advisor in the Department of Animal Science. I look forward to getting to know all of you in our appointments and watching you guys go on your journey through college here at Davis. And my favorite snack food is pan dulce. It's amazingly sweet. There's so many different kinds, and it is fantastic. If you haven't had it, find somewhere that sells it and try it out.
Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin Worley. I'm also a staff advisor in the Animal Science Advising Center. Looking forward to getting to know you all, getting to meet you. And my favorite snack is popcorn. I cannot get enough popcorn. I worked at a movie theater when I was a teenager for about 1.5 years, and they said by the end of it, I'd be sick of it, and I'm still not sick of it. So popcorn's the way to go for me.
Well, great. And you'll have a chance to meet plenty of other folks throughout the rest of our presentation. There's some faculty members, peer advisors, and other folks around who will be able to answer any and all questions for you today. So a little bit about kind of who you'll hear from today. And in the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, there are a variety of different advisors. And we like to kind of consider this your network of support here at UC Davis. This includes major advisors who can help you with more major specific questions like what classes should I be taking? How do I get more involved with the major? What research opportunities are available? You'll also hear from myself, the Undergraduate Academic Programs Dean's Office in the College of Ag. We're here to help you explore different areas of interest, maybe help you find more information about resources that can help you on campus, general education, and college requirements. And then you also have faculty advisors who are great resources to help you connect more in depth with research opportunities within the major. They're certainly available to help you with any class-specific questions that you might have. And they're a fantastic resource to talk to about post-graduation plans. Whether you're thinking of graduate school or going straight into industry, your faculty advisors are fantastic at helping you figure out a great plan of action and help you get from point A to point B. And then last and certainly not least are your peer advisors. And peer advisors are a great resource to really get the student experience. These are students that are going to be in your majors who have taken a lot of the classes that you will be taking. They can give you more perspective on great helpful tips that have helped them be successful and can be a great resource for you to get to know as you continue moving along. So that's a little bit about your network of support, and you'll be fortunate enough today to hear from all of these different types of advisors. And so for now, I'm going to turn it over to Emma, who is going to introduce you to one of your faculty advisors.
So we're going to have Dr. Ed DePeters, who is the Animal Science Master Advisor, say a few words to all of you.
Okay, welcome to UC Davis. So freshmen and transfer students, you're coming to one of the premier public institutions in the world. So I got 3 quick things to say to you. The first thing is you're going to enjoy your academic and extracurricular activities at UC Davis. So explore what's out there when you come to campus. So explore the different opportunities available to you. The second is the Department of Animal Science has one of the best advising centers on campus. So we have excellent staff advisors and peer advisors. You're also going to be assigned a faculty advisor. The college has excellent advisors. When you look at the students, the successful students use the advising resources. And then the third thing is don't panic about the online. I know the majority of you are interested in pursuing veterinary medicine, and so you're going to be a little bit worried about the hands-on animal experiences. But again, don't panic. the traditional classes are not the ones that you're really going to get the extensive hands-on experience. As you go through the advising and talking to the advisors, you're going to hear about Animal Science 49, which is a class that's not required for the major, but that's one that you'll be able to do work at facilities and gain a lot of hands-on experience. There will also be opportunities for internships, 92 and 192. You'll be able to work at facilities on campus or off campus that will give you opportunities to get that hands-on with animals. And then finally, there is the 99 and the 199, which are research study. In those opportunities, you'll be working with graduate students and faculty in a research setting. But again, you'll gain lots of hands-on experience. So don't panic about the online. I know it's different. It's different for everyone here. You're going to have lots of opportunities when you're on campus to get the hands-on experience. So best of luck to you in the fall of 2020.
Thank you so much, Dr. DePeters. So Dr. DePeters is one of our master advisors, but we have a master advisor for each of our majors. In animal science and management, that's Dr. Alan Petty, and in agricultural and environmental education, that's Dr. Deanne Meyer. All three of our master advisors are wonderful resources for you to learn about the opportunities within the major, but to also talk about your future and where you're going post-graduation. So we're going to transition here to start talking about the majors. The agricultural and environmental, the agricultural and environmental education major, or AgEd for short, allows students to explore diverse agricultural and environmental topics and aids in their understanding of basic and advanced concepts in both the natural and social sciences. Students who pursue this major are given the agency to follow their areas of interest, from education to plant sciences to environmental science and policy. Graduates will develop the skills necessary to interpret, gather, and process information in agricultural and environmental sciences. At the conclusion of their degree, students will be able to describe the applications of agricultural and environmental system principles and their application in educational, organizational, and community-based settings. There are many wonderful study abroad opportunities that our students can participate in within our major. Our students can study winemaking in France, environmental justice in Indigenous Ecuador, learn about sustainable cities in Northern Europe, touring Sweden, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland, as well as participate in an ag science and sustainability internship in the heart of the Costa Rican rainforest. While here, students in the AgEd major have the chance to pursue diverse internship opportunities, whether they are assisting in Ag Science Field Day, learning about outdoor education for school-aged children at the ecological gardens through Kids in the Garden, or participating in any and all of the UC Davis Arboretum and Public Gardens Learning by Leading program by doing internships like learning about edible landscaping, or becoming an Arboretum ambassador, or getting involved in their museum education internship. There are also many clubs that our AgEd majors enjoy participating in while here at Davis. To name a few, AgEd students often get involved in Aggie Ambassadors, an organization that educates the public about the College of Ag, which you'll hear about a little bit later. And our students who are interested in education also join the Student California Teachers Association at UC Davis. Participating in clubs and internships really helps our students prepare for their future careers, and AgEd graduates pursue very diverse career fields. Graduates have found employment in public schools, nonprofit organizations, financial institutions, state, federal, and international agencies, nature preserves, community organizations, and sustainable development. Our students have pursued law degrees, plant sciences doctoral programs, master's in education programs, as well as environmental science and policy master's programs. There's really no limit to what you can achieve with the AgEd major.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you all about the animal science major. The animal science major offers a variety of opportunities to students who enjoy learning about and working with animals and wish to study their biology and care. A practical as well as scientific understanding of domestic animals is obtained by taking classes in core sciences, such as chemistry and biology, as well as by completing a specialization in either a discipline, such as behavior or biochemistry, or in a species area of the student's choosing, such as aquatic animals or livestock. The courses taken for the major expose students to an integrated study of animal behavior, reproduction, growth, lactation, molecular biology, and many other aspects of animal biology. Knowledge is gained both in lecture classes and in hands-on laboratories on campus. If you're interested in studying abroad with the animal science major, there are many major required courses that are offered abroad. Some examples include biology in Ireland or organic chemistry in England. For those on the pre-vet path, there are even opportunities to complete an internship in wildlife conservation and veterinary medicine in either Thailand or Australia. Oops, one too far. In terms of getting involved on, I'm on the wrong slide. Okay, sorry. In terms of getting involved on campus, there are tons of ways to get hands-on experience with animals through the Department of Animal Science and UC Davis. If you are on the pre-vet path, there are clubs on campus, such as the Vet Aid Club and Pre-Vet Students Supporting Diversity, that help students secure veterinary internships either through the UC Davis Veterinary Medical Teaching Hospital or within the community where students can help to provide veterinary care for pets in underserved communities. If your interests are more research focused, what better place to explore them than at a top-tier research institution? As an undergraduate, you will have opportunities to get involved with research labs within our department or through other departments on campus. The Department of Animal Science even offers an optional honors thesis for high-achieving students who wish to conduct their own unique research. Many of our students who are involved in research present at the annual undergraduate research conference. These are by no means the only options for involvement on campus, just a few I've chosen to highlight today. During an advising appointment in the fall, our office can help you discover ways to get involved that are aligned with your interests and goals. Upon graduating from the animal science major, students will be strong candidates for employment in many diverse industries and fields. Previous graduates of the animal science major have found employment in a variety of roles throughout the animal industry. They have also gained employment in conservation, in nonprofit work, as consultants, as pharmaceutical sales representatives, as teachers, and much more. Many of our students go on to complete professional degrees in such areas as veterinary medicine, dentistry, or law, while other students go on to complete their master's degree or PhD. There's no limit to what you can do with a degree in animal science.
So I'll be talking about the Animal Science and Management major. This major is similar to animal science, but with some key differences. It includes additional lower division preparatory work in economics, accounting, and as an upper division student, you will take courses in agribusiness such as marketing and management in addition to your animal science courses. You will specialize in the major. You can pick something along the lines of companion animals, dairy, or other options. Or if none of those fit your interests, you can choose an individualized specialization. This specialization allows you to design your own set of courses along with the master advisor, Dr. Petty. In this major, you will get the same hands-on experience, but with the application of these principles to small businesses. There is also a capstone course, ANS 148, that incorporates everything that you learned in the major. You will take this course as a senior. In terms of study abroad, animal science and management students can take a variety of animal science courses, or they can focus on the business management side of things. We've had students participate in business internship programs in the UK over the summer. They've done fall semesters in Germany or even New Zealand, among plenty of other options. In terms of getting involved, students can get involved in a variety of different ways. A lot of them overlap with the animal science major, but here are a few others that I will highlight. The livestock judging team. This team is the advisor is Dr. Petty, and students can take ANS 21 in the spring. It's a 2-unit course to learn about what judging is. Our livestock judging team is a collegiate team, and they participate in competitions at other colleges. It's a great way to learn more about livestock and to network with agricultural industries across the US. Dr. DePeters also mentioned this as well, but the Animal Science 49 courses are another amazing opportunity on campus. They are courses, 2 units, pass no pass. As long as you show up, participate, you'll get a passing grade. It's a great way to gain experience. Unfortunately, they are canceled for fall 2020, but we do offer them each quarter. These courses, they're 1 hour of lecture, learning about the animals in the facility, and 3 hours working at the facility alongside the barn residents and the facility manager. It's a great opportunity to learn more, especially if you've never worked with these animals before. The Animal Science 49s can lead to internships or potentially a barn residency. The barn residents keep our facility running. These are students who live at the facility and work 10 hours a week in exchange for a free room. Those 10 hours can be at odd times. You help the facility manager run the facility. So if a horse gets injured at 3 a.m., the resident needs to handle that situation. This is not an entry-level position. Experience is required, especially experience at that facility. It's an amazing opportunity and you can gain lots of hands-on experience. We do recommend that you wait to apply as it can be a heavy responsibility. Students in the Animal Science and Management major have the benefit of being educated in not only the fields of animal science, but also in marketing, economics, and accounting. They gain a strong background in the skills it takes to succeed in today's business world, as well in careers in all aspects of working with animals. Former Animal Science and Management students from UC Davis are currently working in agribusiness, banking and financial institutions, the Peace Corps, animal health, and biotechnology. Students are also prepared for graduate school or pursuing an MBA in the future. The possibilities are endless. If you'd like further information on our careers for each of the majors we've mentioned today, check out our website. There's a lot of good information there. So transitioning on, we have a couple of tips here on creating your fall 2020 schedule. The first is balance. We recommend that you take 1 to 2 science or math courses and 1 to 2 courses such as general education classes, English, etc. And this is just to ensure you have a well-rounded schedule. Remember that animal science courses such as Animal Science 1, ABI 102, they're still science, okay? Consider your workload. The Carnegie rule states that 1 unit equals 3 hours per week of work. So if you're a freshman taking Animal Science 1, Animal Science 1 is 4 units. That means 12 hours per week of work. When you consider the 3 hours of lecture, the 3 hours of lab, that course, that single course is counting for 18 hours of busy time per week. If you consider a full-time job is typically 40 hours per week, Animal Science 1 can account for about 1/3 of that time. So consider the balance of your classes. This is why we encourage that you take your first quarter at UC Davis slow. Whether you come from a high school, a community college, or another 4-year institution, UC Davis goes fast. Within the first 3 weeks of fall quarter, you'll be getting ready for your midterms. It's always better to take things slow. We encourage that you take 12 to 14 units first. You can always increase your units in future quarters. Use your resources. Often we hear from students that when they start UC Davis, they have to reevaluate how they study and how they take in information during class, during lecture. We've listed 2 really awesome resources here. Success Coaching and Learning Strategies offer workshops on study skills such as designing a weekly schedule, time management, test taking, and more. Or you can meet one-on-one with a success coach. A success coach appointment can be a one-time thing or ongoing. They can help you create goals, review study skill habits, and work with you on your focus and concentration, plus more. They are an excellent resource. The Academic Assistance and Tutoring Center offers drop-in tutorings and workshops for foundational courses such as chemistry, biology, math, and statistics. Many of the staff hold office hours and have websites with practice problems and exams ready for students to use. Again, utilize the resources on campus. Finally, we recommend that you wait until winter quarter to start internships. Take your first quarter slow. There will be plenty of time in your upcoming terms to get involved and to gain experience.
All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about next steps. Now that you've completed Aggie 101, learned a little bit about your major, and know how to build a successful first quarter schedule, you're ready to make your Aggie advising appointment. You may schedule an appointment by going to the online appointment system. We've put the web address up here for you. I think some of you may have tried to make an appointment in the past, but the calendar wasn't open. We just opened it today, so now you'll be able to make an appointment. Once you're in the system, make sure to select ASAC Aggie Advising to access the appointments that have been set aside for you. Our office does not offer any drop-in appointments, and we require students to make an appointment if they'd like to meet with an advisor. For your Aggie advising appointment, you may meet with either myself, Emma, or Catherine. To our transfer students, we strongly recommend that you wait until after July 1st to schedule your appointment so that our office has enough time to review your transfer coursework. Your Aggie advising appointment will be 15 minutes long, so we will have time to create a first quarter plan and answer any questions you may have. As you've probably noticed, we're all working from home for the time being, and as such, we are only offering Zooms at this time. If you are concerned about your internet connection, there is an option to call into the Zoom appointment from a cell phone or a landline, and instructions on how to do so will be in your appointment confirmation email. In order to prepare for your appointment, please read through the FAQ on our website, as well as all of the information in your appointment confirmation email, as many questions will be answered there. We do request that you bring a copy of your unofficial transcript to your appointment if you have any sort of transfer coursework from another institution. We are looking forward to meeting with you soon.
So in addition to academics, we think that it's really important for you to get involved. Forming meaningful connections with your peers while in college is key to developing a sense of community during your time at UC Davis. One of the best ways to get connected to people with similar interests is by joining clubs and getting involved in departmental events. The Department of Animal Science offers many different opportunities for student engagement, like halter breaking livestock and showing animals in our little international stock show. We also have 2 barbecues in the fall and spring for students to come together and share a meal together with faculty, staff, and their families. We have many clubs that our students get involved with for their special interests, like our Dairy Science Club at UC Davis. Yes, you heard that right, UC Davis, where students can learn about the industry and train to become future leaders. There's also the Draft Horse and Driving Club, where you can learn how to drive a team of draft horses all over the UC Davis campus. For those of you who are interested specifically in beef cattle, the Young Cattlemen's Association that gives its members access to educational materials regarding the beef cattle industry. These are just a few different clubs that are available within the department, and only 3 out of nearly 800 clubs on campus for students to get involved in and to find their community. Be sure to check out the UC Davis Clubs and Community page to find your place and your people.
So now that you all have a chance to learn a little bit more about your department and hear from some of your major advisors, we wanted to talk a little bit about other ways to get involved with the college on a little bit more of a broad level. Now, some of this may seem a little bit overwhelming. You've got departmental clubs and college clubs and all these things, and we want you to know that we are here, and by we, I mean the advisors are all here to help you figure those pieces out. If ever you have questions about any of these things, we want you to come in and see us. That's what we're here for. So when we look at some of the other opportunities in the college, we do have a variety of different ways for you to get connected throughout your time at UC Davis. This isn't just for your first quarter. These are things that you can get involved with whenever you're ready throughout the rest of your time at UC Davis. We really try from the dean's office level to connect with students on a variety of different levels and in a variety of different places. We really want you and your experience at UC Davis to help propel you moving forward and to help you be successful. So a couple ways that you can do that within the college is through our Aggie Ambassador program. Our Aggie Ambassadors is a program that is housed in the dean's office and is founded on the 3 pillars of community, outreach, and leadership. So students learn how to engage in outreach and develop their leadership skills while building community here at UC Davis. That picture you see in the upper left-hand corner is from the state FFA convention a couple years ago. We take a group of students and do outreach at a variety of different events, including state and national FFA. The middle picture there you see is our Manners Club, and Manners is an acronym that stands for Multiculturalism in Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Related Sciences. It's a nationwide organization that has chapters at a variety of different universities, and students can develop communication skills, work on research opportunities. They attend a conference that takes place and that rotates throughout the United States. And the great thing about Aggie Ambassadors and Manners is that these are actually two clubs or organizations that students can take for units as well. And so if you're looking to add an extra unit, to your schedule, that can be a great option for you to consider. Another great opportunity for students that are in our college, and this program is specific to our college, is in our career discovery groups. Students have the opportunity to explore more about campus resources, get paired with a graduate student mentor, and hear more directly from our internship and career center staff. That picture that you see in the upper right-hand corner is at a Meet the Professionals event, and that's held in one of the ARC rooms. The ARC is the big gym on campus, and we have a bunch of working professionals that come in, and students rotate around to meet with working individuals to hear more about industry opportunities and career fields that are available to them. Career Discovery Groups is an academic class that students would start in the fall and continue on throughout their first year. For transfer students, this is just a fall quarter class. In addition to that, we host various events that take place throughout the year. In the lower left-hand corner, you see a picture of our study break. This is an annual, quarterly event every year during finals week. We just really provide an opportunity for students to kind of rest, recharge, get a snack, not think about finals for a few minutes. We have various folks stopping by, and in fact, in that picture that you see there in the middle, that's our dean, Helene Dillard. We also host an event each quarter called Slice of Advising, where we rent or get a room, book a room in our student community center, and really just host a time for students to come ask informal questions of our dean's office advising staff. Major advisors will join in too. And it's really just an informal time for you all to meet with us and get to know some of your fellow classmates. So be on the lookout for fall events. We'll be sending out reminders and notifications to you closer to those times. We'll host an ice cream social event as well that'll take place during the first week of class. So with that being said, that's really the conclusion of kind of our prepared presentation for you all this afternoon. At this point in time, we are opening it up to Q&A. Now, I know many of you folks have started inputting questions into the Q&A. You are welcome to do so, but we do have representatives from faculty, dean's office, major departments, and peer advisors who will be answering some of these questions live. So please feel free to put some of your questions in the chat, and I'll go through and we'll answer them as they come in. Let's see here. There are a lot of questions about advising appointments, so I'm going to turn it over to Catherine Livingston to talk about what to expect next with respect to your advising appointments for the upcoming summer sessions and time.
Yeah, of course. So after you have finished your modules, then you'll be ready to have your Aggie advising appointment. So as Caitlin was saying earlier about preparing for your appointment, part of that is actually scheduling your appointment in the appointment system. So once you do that, then you'll be meeting with one of the 3 staff advisors. So myself, Emma Martinez, and Caitlin Worley. We're all professional staff and we advise for all 3 majors: animal science and management, and agricultural and environmental education. In that appointment, we're going to make a 1-quarter plan for you. We encourage all students who still have questions after completing their Aggie advising appointment to send an email to the ASAC new student email. It's actually here on the screen. And you can have a follow-up appointment with a peer advisor.
Thanks, Catherine. And so as we got started, I got a little bit of ahead of myself. We do want to take some time to introduce a couple more folks to you on the webinar. So first, we'd like to start with our introduction of a couple faculty members. So I'm going to actually turn it over to Emma because I'm not exactly sure who all is here. So I'll have Emma kind of turn it over to the faculty who are here.
Yes, so you all met Dr. DePeters, but we also have Dr. Militowski. Dr. Militowski, or Dr. Emsky, is the instructor for ABI 102, and he is also a faculty advisor. So if he wants to come on camera and say a few quick words.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Militowski. I teach biochemistry, ABI 102, and horse husbandry, ANS 15, and I'm here to answer questions. I'm also I'm a faculty advisor, so I will have students assigned to me to answer their questions in your whole time here at UC Davis.
Thank you. And we also have 2 of our master advisors, Dr. Deanne Meyer and Dr. Petty. You might have seen Dr. Meyer answer a few of those questions. I don't believe she's got her camera. We've got her set up for access to that. So I will just mention that she is here. And then Joe, do you want me to introduce our peers too?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have 4 of our peer advisors. 3 of them have graduated just recently, literally last Friday. So congratulations to them. And I don't know if they just want to unmute themselves really quick and just say a few words.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kiara, and I just graduated. I was an agricultural and environmental education major, and like Emma said, I was one of the peer advisors.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I also just graduated last Friday, and I will be one of the peer advisors over the summer as well.
I'm Josh. I also just graduated with a major in animal science, and like Kiara and Jamie, I will also be working over the summer, so excited if we ever meet with each other.
Oh, hi, I'm Kelsey. I'm going to be a 4th year animal science major, and I'm right now the only continuing peer advisor on this webinar, but yeah.
All right, so as we continue with Q&A, there have been a couple of questions that have come in about expectations for fall in terms of virtual or not instruction. And just to let you all know, our campus is in the process of finalizing fall plans. And while nothing official has been announced for fall, the campus has directed instructors to prepare for and provide maximum flexibility for students. Part of what we are certainly working with during this circumstance and during COVID-19 is working with county and state officials regarding health guidelines and maintaining best practices when it comes to supporting the health and well-being of students, faculty, and staff on campus. We do expect within the coming weeks that campus will announce more finalized and formal plans for fall instruction. Each Friday, our Chancellor Gary May, provides the campus updates that you can find on the UC Davis main webpage. We certainly encourage you to check that out and be on the lookout for that. And we will, as advisors during our appointments, hopefully be able to answer more and more of those questions as time goes on. So we look forward to seeing you in the fall, and we appreciate your resilience during what is certainly a challenging time. So as we're kind of going through some of the questions, in terms of that, let's take a look. So there's a question about becoming a zookeeper that I'm wondering if our faculty advisor might be able to help answer. The question is specifically that they want to become a zookeeper and not quite sure which classes to take.
Yeah, so this is Dr. Manaltowski.
Yeah.
ANS 107 is available in the summer. And then there are all sorts of wildlife fish conservation classes also that are geared toward wildlife. And even in like classes like animal behavior, you're going to get, so either NPB or the animal science-based one, you're going to get information about zoo animal, captive animal, and wildlife and how they behave. So there are several classes. In animal science, I'd say ANS 107, and then the domestic animal behavior class. I'm sure they talk a little bit about some of the captive animals too.
Just real quick too, there are internship opportunities at the Sacramento Zoo. So there are internship opportunities there. And in my nutrition class in the winter quarter, we take a Sunday field trip to the Sacramento Zoo. And that's an opportunity for students to actually meet one of the lead animal caretakers. And then that's how you can also get into that type of program. So most of the classes, the biology part, across the animals, when you're learning things about nutrition, biochemistry, genetics, it has application to the human animal as well as many of the non-human animals. So you just have to go to the advising center and then ask the staff and peer advisors, how do I make those contacts?
So another question that we see here, and I would direct this maybe to Emma. What do you see, or how possible is it for students to maybe double major in animal science and another major on campus?
That's a great question. Animal science is a big major. I believe in total it's about 140 to 150 units. And so when you are picking a second major to add on, we usually encourage that it's something that maybe covers your general education requirements, such as language or comparative literature or even psychology. But if you would like to add on a double major that's maybe science-based, like wildlife, fish, and conservation biology or global disease biology, the sooner you know that, the better. And definitely come in during the fall, talk to a peer or staff advisor so we can start preparing that second plan to include both majors. So it's completely possible, but the sooner you know it, the better.
And I would just add, from the dean's office perspective, students do want to work with not only their major advisors, but the dean's office. So there are some things to keep in mind with how many units a student can complete and other policy or requirements that may impact your ability to double major in certain subject areas. So please be working with your dean's office, working with your major advisor to help you move forward. Sometimes picking something like a minor may help you get more experience with certain subject areas without going as in depth as the major would, and help you gain the type of information that you were hoping to get from that experience. So this is actually a question I want to direct to one of our peer advisors who is available. There's a lot of questions about internships that are coming through our chat. And I'd like to actually start this question and kind of pose it as I've seen a couple of the questions. Can some of the peers talk about maybe a little bit of the internships that they've done and how that experience was while they were taking classes?
Okay. Hello. So I'm Kelsey, one of the peer advisors. So one of the internships I did my first year of college was the goat kidding internship. So the goat barn's like a 10-15 minute bike ride from one of the dorms, the Tercero dorms. So I would go there 3 hours a week and I'd get to bottle feed the baby kids. It was like kidding season in the winter and spring. So I got to work with a lot of them. And it didn't take, or I was taking like, I believe like 3 courses alongside of that. So it wasn't too heavy of a workload. But we usually recommend students to first test out how they're doing in their like courses in the fall before they start doing an internship. I knew I didn't start till winter because I wanted to make sure I got used to how the quarter system worked. But it was a really fun internship and I really did like working with the goats.
I can also speak on internships. When I was a first year, I did the calf feeding internship at the dairy. So I was able to feed them grain, fill their water buckets, kind of learn about the management of dairy calves. And it was my first time getting any kind of experience with any animal that's bigger than a dog or a cat, which is really cool. I've also done an internship off campus at Cree's Brothers Farm. And there it's a goat management internship, but we do get to help with kiddings as well. And so that took a little bit more coordination because it was off campus. So I did need to apply for that. I did need to find my own transportation to that because it is about 10 minutes away from my apartment, which is 10 minutes away from campus. So that's something else to consider. And as an ag ed major, I also did an internship at the ecological garden at the student farm. It's called Kids in the Garden. And it was really, really fun. Every week we got to go to the eco garden and essentially plan out a day for a group of students that were from kindergarten through 5th grade and teach them about gardening, about science through hands-on activities. And one of my favorite activities was when we took the students out to the garden, they actually picked the food that they got to eat. So kind of teaching them that you can grow the food that you eat, and this is where your food comes from.
Great. Thank you for sharing your experiences, Kelsey and Kiara. As you can see with our students, especially in the Department of Animal Science, there are so many great experiences that are available right on campus with our animal science facilities. And so students have a lot of opportunities to get connected and plugged in. As Dr. DePeters mentioned, ANS 49, those are classes that are available to help students get unit credit and start working in some of these facilities. Each of the facilities has a specific section that's designated to them. So moving along, in terms of appointments, going back to the appointment system, there was a question about scheduling an appointment with the dean's office. Students may schedule appointments with any advisors using our appointment system at appointments.ucdavis.edu. At that website, you can select either the dean's office, the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences dean's office, or the Animal Science Advising Center. And so as we move forward, we would encourage you to first start with your major advisors, start with that appointment with your major to help get you squared away for what you plan to take during your upcoming fall quarter and ways to get started here at UC Davis. And if you have any other questions about GE requirements or other things, you're also welcome to contact the dean's office as well. So we've got just about 10 more minutes for questions, and I know you all have not been shy about adding them to the list here. In terms of appointments, let's see here. So Caitlin, here's a question about academic advisors and kind of what to expect during that 15-minute advising appointment that students will set up after this webinar.
Sure, thanks, Joe. So during our 15-minute appointment, we'll get to know each other a little bit. We'll review any placement scores that you have to try and find what the appropriate classes are that you should be taking. If you're a transfer student, by the time you make an appointment in July, we'll have had time to review your transfer coursework, so we'll know exactly which classes are going to be next for you. If you have any, AP or IB credit, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about how that affects the major, how that affects things like GEs and English courses and that sort of thing. We'll make a first quarter plan on OASIS that you'll be able to refer back to. And we'll talk about which courses we recommend and then which courses we recommend as an alternative if you can't get into those courses during your registration time. We'll help you navigate Schedule Builder, talk about making, more than one academic schedule. And then of course we'll be available to answer any additional questions you have. Now, because we only have 15 minutes, if there are questions that we aren't able to get to, you can always email that ASAC new student email that's on the slide right there. Either just the question itself, or if you want to make a follow-up appointment with one of our peer advisors, we can do that too. So that's kind of the general outline. Of course, every appointment is going to be a little bit different for each individual, but those are kind of the points that we want to hit during our appointment.
Great, thank you, Caitlin. We've also seen a number of questions coming in through the chat minors, and just to speak to minors a little bit, minors are a program of study at UC Davis where students can take a smaller number of units than they would if they were actually majoring in the subject area and receive a more kind of focused or specific study. Minors are a good way for students to explore other areas of interest or go a little bit more in depth as they help prepare for next steps and other opportunities. So minors, are not required for graduation, so students don't have to do them. And really, when we think about quote unquote good minors to fit in with majors, kind of is up to you in a lot of respects and what you want to do with your time and education here at UC Davis. So what we encourage you to do is to share those goals and interests with your faculty advisors, with your staff advisors in the dean's office and your major department, and talk about why you might want to be interested in minoring in a subject area. And we can talk through what that may look like for you. Another question here for faculty, and I know given that this is the Department of Animal Science and we have such a world-renowned vet school, we are seeing a lot of questions that are coming in kind of on that vet school plane. And so can a couple of our faculty speak to kind of preparing for vet school and what that looks like as an animal science major?
I could say a couple things. It's good if you're thinking pre-vet already. If you're a transfer student, you need to think about it now because you don't have a lot of time. So you want to start making sure you're getting your pre-vet, your vet prereqs in, and then as far as freshmen, you have a little more time, but you want to make sure that you're lining up things like experience with veterinarians. Every vet school has their own requirement for hours, but you have to watch out for those. Start developing personal relationships with the faculty. You want to be able to talk to them after class and email and even set up appointments so that when it comes time to get letters of recommendation, it's not a surprise to them, because there are over 1,000 people in all three majors that are, a lot of them are pre-vet. So the sooner you're interacting with professors, the better, the more likely it is you're going to get letters. And then if you can do any type of experience with animals with internships on campus, it's a great idea to broaden, vet schools look for well-rounded students, not just students that work with dogs and cats. If you can get any of those opportunities, that's something to try to do.
I think when you're looking at, the vet school for UC Davis, you have to realize that probably the most important thing is GPA. So the grade point average,
that's true,
is very important for UC Davis. It's important for all the vet schools, but UC Davis very much so. So even though you want to have that animal experience, you need that. That never makes up for a low GPA. So you focus on GPA. That's why we start you somewhat slow, 12 to 14 units in the fall. We want you to do really well. You'll be applying for fellowships or scholarships also in the winter, so do well in the fall. You always want to go to the advising center and check about the other schools, because you'll have situations where some schools require a lower division organic chemistry, like UC Davis. Another vet school may require an upper division organic chemistry. So there are some subtle differences, but also be open-minded about looking at other schools as far as international schools. We'll have visitors from Edinburgh as well as from Sydney, Australia come during the year. So don't always think you have to stay in California for the sunshine. There's other universities as well. So go to some of those programs, because you'll meet some of the faculty that are coming from those universities. And that contact you're going to learn is very important. As Dr. Malantowski said, meet your faculty advisor, talk to that faculty advisor. So when the letters of recommendations are needed, that faculty advisor knows you.
And so I know that we're just about wrapping up and finishing our time. I was hoping that for the last kind of quick thing, Kelsey and Kiara, if you could, as students, give kind of one good piece of advice, or what's your best piece of advice that you would give to an incoming as they're getting ready to start in fall?
I can start with that question. Definitely as a fifth year, I really learned that making connections with professors and faculty members, just anyone that's teaching your classes, your TAs, that's all very important, because those are the people that can really help you out in the future, whether it be with letters of recommendation for vet school or jobs, or whether it be someone to help you write a letter of recommendation for a scholarship, or just someone that you can connect with in the future to be able to get questions answered about jobs. If you have a good connection with someone on campus and they know that there's a job opening, then they can let you know if you let them know that you're interested in that kind of work. So I think something that I wish I definitely would have done more starting my first year is trying to make those connections with professors and TAs, and even the advisors that I met with in the dean's office and in the Animal Science Advising Center, because those are the people that are going to be helping you not only throughout your time in college at Davis, but afterwards as well. So make sure you're building those relationships. I know it's hard. I know it seems really scary, because I definitely didn't do it my first year or my second year, probably not even my third year, but I started building those relationships, and I'm really glad that I did, because now I have a lot of awesome connections for the future.
Sorry, not to interrupt, but there is an event coming up that our peer advisors put together that I think will help answer some of those questions. So Kelsey, do you want to talk about this event a little bit?
I'm muted. Okay. Hello. So we have an event coming up tomorrow. It will be, so it's a webinar where Kiara and Jamie will be answering questions just about like Davis life, about like any courses they've taken. It's called Dear Aggies from a Senior. It's from 2 to 3 p.m. Tomorrow. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to come by and just ask them if you just want to chat. And we'll also be recording it, so it can be shared to anyone who wants to see it.
Well, that just brings us to our time for today. We want to thank you all so very much for joining us this afternoon. And we hope that you found this time informative. We understand that we may not have addressed every single question that's on your mind, and I'm sure there's plenty more things to talk about. And we encourage you to schedule those follow-up appointments. We hope that your experience getting to know us and hearing from a lot of the folks today help give you a little bit more of a picture of who to connect with and who you'll meet here at UC Davis. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted to the Dean's Office website for later review if you want to review some things. And I'm sure you'll go over many more things in your advising appointments. So with that,
sorry, Joe. One last thing. If you are unable to get an appointment, please email the asac-newstudent@ucdavis.edu. And for transfer students, we did say after July 1st, those appointments aren't up yet. We're going to fix that today. So if you go in tomorrow, you'll be able to see those appointments.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Emma, for that. And with that, have a great rest of your day. We certainly best of luck. We welcome you to the Aggie family and take care.